I was wondering why I haven't gotten a question from you guys about the Jerry Jones photo. But when the Kyrie thing was going on, you guys were quick to ask us questions about that.
Okay.
Hold on. And I don't even want you guys to say nothing. When I watched Kyrie talk and he says, I know who I am, but I want to keep the same energy when we're talking about my people and the things that we've been through. And that Jerry Jones photo is one of those moments that our people, Black people, have been through in America. And I feel like as a Black man, as a Black athlete, as someone with power and a platform, when we do something wrong or something that people don't agree with, it's on every single tabloid, every single news coverage. It's on the bottom ticker. It's asked about every single day. But it seems like to me that the whole Jerry Jones situation photo, and I know it was years and years ago and we all make mistakes, I get it. But it seemed like it's just been buried under like, oh, it happened. Okay, we just move on. And I was just kind of disappointed that I haven't received that question from you guys.
Y'all, listen, I told you if LeBron went to Timbuktu, I would follow him and be a fan of the Timbuktu Tigers because I don't care. I can't root for the Lakers this year because they're going to lose. But if they manage to make it into the playoffs, I'm going to be. I love this man, his growth as a human being, but more importantly, his understanding of this moment in time and his position in it, that he said, I have power and a platform and I'm going to use it. That's what that's supposed to look like. Kudos to LeBron James. There could be no LeBron James slander in my life. I don't think she's going to do that. Let me welcome her to the show. She, of course, is an anti-poverty warrior. Yes, she is. And a great human being. I love her. Jennifer Jones Austin is here. Hello.
I love you. And I say that with every part of my being. I just love you and I appreciate you. And I thank God for the light that you are in this world and the love that you give through all that.
Come on, stop it. Okay, thank you. I receive. I got to do better with that.
You got me all emotional right now after hearing LeBron.
Yeah, you know,
emotional.
And he's right. Where's the same energy? And I just found a story today, Jennifer, that Amazon CEO, who I couldn't have named him, but I'm reading the story. I was like, oh, I didn't know he was CEO because all we think is Bezos, but he stepped down. Andy Jassy, who identifies as being Jewish, he is under fire because the Amazon platform is still selling Hebrews to Negroes, Wake Up Black America is continuing to sell. And I thought that it was, but it's still up there. And he says, and this is the thing that Kyrie retweeted. He just retweeted it. He just tweeted it. He's not selling it. He's not profiting from it. He just tweeted it. And Jassy was like, yeah, well, here's what he said. We allow access to those viewpoints, even if they're objectionable. Oh, okay. All right. And he said that the decision to remove it is less straightforward than pulling content that actively promotes violence and pedophilia. This is a bestseller on Amazon. That's why you're not pulling it down. And Kyrie had to apologize. He had to donate $500,000 to the Anti-Defamation League and all of that. And Amazon gets to keep it up. Make it make sense. Jennifer Jones Austin.
It's an easy one. It's all about power and money. Who holds power? And power in this nation is tied to money. And so Amazon's going to make their money off of it and nobody's going to challenge them on it. Or, maybe now he's going to take some hits, but he feels confident that he's got the power and the money and the pull to do whatever he so chooses. The problem with Kyrie was that Kyrie didn't realize that, his power is derivative. Or they want to remind him that his power is derivative, that he's not a self-made man, or he doesn't have millions under himself. And that essentially, when he's playing in Brooklyn, he's playing for the Nets, in a city that essentially is like, there are many people of the Jewish faith here in Brooklyn, New York, and in New York at large. The owners of that team had to make sure that their Brooklyn base knew where they stood, because they could not get into any conflict or tension with the people here in Brooklyn who were riding with the Nets. Follow the money, follow the power. When I mentioned that LeBron, you're playing that clip, left me emotional because it is so rare that we get to see Black men in America move in their authority, this understanding and appreciation that their authority does not come from the people who essentially give them their paychecks, but that they have authority that is greater than that. And he is responding to a greater calling and a greater being. And so he's living and he's moving in that authority. Remember, this is the man who told the Cleveland, remember, he told the Cleveland Cavaliers, see you later. I don't need you. I'm going over to Miami and I'm going to create my own fiefdom over there, fiefdom, and do what I need to do to get a win, to get a ring. And remember how they responded, how dare you? But he was telling them, my power is not of your making. You want me to believe, to act like I'm on the plantation and live with the plantation mindset, but that's not how I roll. That's not how I move. And so what he did in calling out the media for not calling out Jerry Jones is reminding them, you want me to have this slave mentality. That I just say, yes, sir, whatever you want me to answer to. Yes, sir. I can't ask a question. I can't challenge you. Yes, sir, whatever you want. That's not how I play because my power is not derived from you. It's derived from a greater authority, a greater power. So I'm going to flip the table on you. That's why I get emotional, because when you live in that authority, then you are, you're invincible in some respects, and your power just grows because you have a greater sense of self and a greater sense of worth and self and purpose. And so that's where I am right now. Sorry.
No, I mean, no, it's not preachy. We all need to understand that, right? And Kyrie has money. He has money, but no power.
Right.
And and if he really was about that life, he could have retired. That's what he was leaning towards, right? So that would have been a great statement. He has enough money to live for the rest of his life. He just signed I think, $127 million contract. You got money. It's okay. And you're still young. Start investing in the community. Yeah, well, I want to play basketball and I want, it's interesting. And to watch LeBron nearing 40, about to break Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's record, which is make Kareem Abdul-Jabbar a little testy. I've heard some things, but to watch him, but he's always kind of been this man because of how he came into the world and because of the adversity that he had to overcome, that was going to chart his own course and figure it out. And I've always loved from putting his childhood friends into spaces to learn how to run businesses and then hand them the reins to go out. And you see Rich Paul now is making waves where they have to have whole rules to stop him from going. Now you have to have a degree. Like they're really upset because this is what this game is about. And when you start to see the fissures, not among the stars and the celebrities, but among regular ass folk like Rich Paul, who have just been given an opportunity, and Maverick and all. When you start to see it happening and you're like, wait a minute, we can't control these Negroes. Now it's a problem because all of them are going to know it's possible because anybody can be Rich Paul. You may not be able to be LeBron James or Michael Jordan, but we could all be Rich Paul.
Well, there's a story that some people don't know. When LeBron James got into the trouble with the name, image, and likeness, going back to remember when he was just in high school.
When he got that Hummer, when his mother accepted the Hummer, when he was 18 years old. Yes.
And that was putting his future in the NBA, on the line. And, there were questions and challenges and his future was at risk. He had a lawyer by the name of Frederick Nance. By way of full disclosure, this is the brother of my brother-in-law, Cleveland-based, a brother who was his lawyer, who essentially came and worked with him and with his family and worked and found the best solution. So he also saw a Black man step into the mix and with legal maneuvering and handle that. So he also, there've been examples provided him how you as a person, of color, even, you bring your whole self, you do the work and you show up and you get it done. And that creates a sense of greater worth and purpose and ability.
I and this is why we have to all show up as our full selves, because you don't know who's watching. You don't know what impact you're going to have. And you could be the thing, the catalyst to the next, whatever, next person that's going to set the world correct. And I'm, you don't know. I love talking with you because it's, somebody in the Nubia chat said Jennifer Jones Austin soothes my nerves, like your voice, you bring in this calm, and I appreciate that, because she does. And part of that also is the things that you've come through in your life to be here. So I'm grateful that you are here. Viola Davis, there's a video of her, and I wanted to talk with you about that. Can we play the audio, Smith?
I would say the worst thing that anyone has ever said to me is constantly telling me that I'm not pretty, even though I'm good. I really am. I'm good. I feel very confident in myself. But when you say that, I don't think that people understand how hurtful it is and how not important it is. When you say that to someone, the unspoken word is that you're not worthy, because people put a value on prettiness and beauty. So if you don't have it, it's like, I have no value, but no one wants to love me. No one will accept me. I have no power. When you say that to other women, they don't feel there's anything in their life that has any value. You've stripped them from everything.
I have Viola over my shoulder because her book was, first of all, phenomenal. And to see the things that she had to endure to be here. And I was listening to, it was a pastor that said, who asks to be beautiful? Who asks to be, I call it facially challenged. No one asks for their nose to be as big as it is, or small, or their lips, or any facial feature that you find beautiful. You did nothing to be beautiful. You did absolutely nothing. That anybody could walk into the world like with their heads held high for something they had, like the skin color, and it's so weird. Even our notion of beauty, which is why Viola being in this space and being beautiful and showing up as her full self is so important to every little girl and little boy, white or black or whatever, because we are reframing what it means to be beautiful. To see Winston Duke, who is a thick, beautiful black man, or even Chadwick Boseman in many ways, to reframe what it means to be beautiful is, to me, an inside out thing. And I love that she's bringing it to the forefront. But who determines what's beautiful? Jennifer Jones Austin.
White America. White America determined it from Jump Street, right? You just killing me this afternoon, because I feel like I want to cry again just hearing her words, and this, the words that I mean, there were so many powerful things that I can take from what she said, but I think I'm centering on, it's not important. Who said beauty was important? And I'm reminded of my own journey when I had cancer and I lost my hair not once, but twice. And, the doctors told me I was going to lose it because I was going to have high dosages of chemotherapy and radiation. And I remember my Black sisters showing up at the hospital before I lost my hair, my girlfriends, my sister friends, with wigs and scarves. I ain't asking for wigs and scarves. Now, they thought they were doing me a good service, but it was almost as though I could not go bald, as if that would be a negative in some way. Well, I chose to just walk around bald. It was cold outside. I put a hat on my head. But other than that, I was just walking around as a bald woman. And what it was embracing who I am, embracing my journey. I'm not like speaking ill of people who decide when they have cancer or of other illnesses, alopecia, whatever, that they want to cover their heads. But for me to live into the authenticity of that moment, my identity, I had to embrace. This is where I am, and this is who I am. I remember Black sisters walking up to me left and right. They didn't know me. Don't worry, it's going to grow back, and it's going to be more lustrous. It's going to be more beautiful than ever it was. Who asked you that? And why do you think I'm concerned about that? But what I was appreciating was that the image of beauty that had been, visited upon them, that they had been indoctrinated into, led them to believe that if I did not have hair on my head, if it was not flowing down my back, I would think myself less beautiful. And what I was trying to do was center us on, I'm going to be just as good as I was, however you define that, with or without hair. And so, you didn't ask for my personal story, but that's what I heard in that moment. It's not really important. The hair wasn't going to cause me to live any longer or live any less or show up any differently in the world. I had to be me, whatever was within my soul, in my heart, and in my mind. And that's what Viola has done for us. They try to break her. And I will say that does break you.
But more importantly, we have to go to a break. Can you stick around?
I'm with you.
All right. 866-801-8255. I have a question. Who goes up to somebody and tells them that we're not talking about children, because children are horrible. Some of y'all are raising some horrible little demons. But adult people, she talks about in her book, when she got a particular role, for How to Get Away with Murder, there were whispers among cast members on Broadway, because that was where, Viola really flourished. Like, they picked her. Like, she's not, they would openly tell her to her face that she wasn't pretty enough. Like, who does that? Like, have any of you ever done that? What is that? Oh my God. I was like, who has the audacity to say that to somebody's face, that they're not beautiful, or that worse, they're ugly?
It's just, and she's not ugly.
She's not, she's beautiful.
She's beautiful.
She's not, but in our culture, and I think, we were talking with Pam Keith before you came here about misogyny in the South. And I guess, in many ways, I feel like I live in delusion on purpose, because I'm not accepting your inadequacies. I'm not going to accept it. You're not going to foist them upon me. I'm sorry. You're going to have to deal with it. I'm going to steamroll because I'm a bull. I'm going to gore you. And it's all, I'm going to get to where I need to go. But the fact that somebody can consciously, I'm not voting for her because she's a woman and women shouldn't lead. I'm not going to that church because there's a woman pastor. I'm not doing X, Y, and Z. This person's ugly, so therefore I'm not, like, as if. And it's weird to me that somebody could open their lips to say that. So I want to just talk about that too when we come back. And it's also the birthday of Richard Pryor. So I'm going to play a Richard Pryor clip, and you're here. And I want to talk about, first of all, congratulations. Were you here last time, those referendums that you, Larry, and others? Okay, no. So I want to give you your flowers. Like we gave Larry, actually, we were on the air when it happened, and Larry was just losing it in a good way. So I want to give you your flowers when we come back. Jennifer Jones Austin is here. The number is 866-801-8255. Is the Karen Hunter Show. We'll be back.